What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Down to Business segment of the Screw Up Show. You're on with Mon,
And with Don,
and we have once again invited some guests here to talk about their online business. So, guys, please go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm
Anyone?
Yumi. I can go first. I'm Yumi, and our business is SAVON Cleaning Solutions.
awesome.
Hi, I'm Mike, and I'm the business partners of Yumi, Danny, and Ian for Savon.
And I'm Danny, also working with the three of them on Savon.
All right. Welcome to
Awesome.
the show,
Welcome, you
guys.
guys.
Thanks for having
saying
us.
yes. to
Thanks for
being here.
having us.
Yes,
Mhm.
of course. So yeah, this is just gonna be a super chill conversation for you guys to share about your business, whatever you want to share. That's up to you guys. We're just here to hear your story. So yeah, I mean, take
Yeah.
it away, Mon.
And need to add lang to that. Hopefully, we become like a humble platform for you guys to, share your business to those who may have not, been aware of it yet. So yeah. So like speaking of, your business, why did you guys start a business, especially during, the pandemic? Diba? So, take us through the beginnings of Savon.
I think Mike should take this question because he was the one
Yeah,
who brought all of us together.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
nice. Okay.
Oh, Mike.
Well, I'm actually batchmates with the three partners. So, when COVID started, there wasn't really, and there's no like job or opportunities like open for a lot of people. And just one day, parang me and Danny were messaging each other, congratulating each other for graduating. And she said, you guys we should start a business soon. But I didn't really take it seriously. But one night I was like watching Shark Tank, and
Nice.
an idea popped up, and it's like um so Savon is based on the really famous brand called Luland. And I showed Danny the concept. At first, um it was just mainly brainstorming, but then after talking for a while, I thought, we wanted to get someone involved in chemistry, and that's when we approached Yumi. And
Valedictorian.
yes, a valedictorian in chemistry, and for our batch, yeah, and she majors in chemistry. And she approached Ian also. In the beginning, we didn't actually think that manufacturing a product like soap, especially a powdered one, would be like feasible for us. We didn't know naman like manufacturing processes in the beginning. Um, but yun, after talking for a while, um, it just somehow all came together, and that's like the beginning of Savon.
And I think just to add to that, it was funny because we started off like trying to create tablets, like Barocca, but for soap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
Oh,
were
that
trying
would
to
have been
make that.
cool. Oh,
Yeah,
what? That would
yeah,
have been so cool.
yeah. So we were like, okay, let's make this. And we didn't know how to. So at first we said, okay, let's try making it at home. So at the start, like we bought like clay molds and
Oh
we
my
tried to make
gosh,
our
I
own
remember
soap.
that.
Yeah, and we were like, this is like way too hard to make on our own. And that's where the magic of Ian came. So Ian's the one who's not here today, but he's basically, our main production guy. He's the one who creates the soap. So that's where he really helped us out. But yeah, it was pretty fun at the start. It was like a science lab experiment just to start off with.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
sounds so fun.
Yeah.
for all of the businesses we've had so far, like we always say, we respect you guys, for taking the leap to start something as big as a business, especially during the pandemic, diba? I mean, it's online and, you can't really like see each other often to like actually discuss and, manage the actual business, diba? Because it's so hard to do everything like, you know, online, diba? Remotely. So, ayun, I mean, good on you guys for like starting this business up, diba? And I don't know, I guess I want to ask lang like to add lang to the previous questions of why you guys started, diba? So I'd like to think naman na most businesses, well, most nga, they have like, these advocacies as to why they started their business, diba? So do you guys have like an advocacy as to why you started your business, like selling powdered soap, diba, and all that?
You?
Yeah. Okay, sure, I can take it. So, because we're a pandemic business, we wanted to address both the like health crisis and
Of course.
also the climate crisis, which is always ongoing. So on the side of health, that's why we wanted to do something about cleaning, washing your hands and stuff like that. But we felt like, the more we wash our hands now because of COVID, the more plastic soap bottles get thrown away, after we're done with it. And we thought that like a solution like refillable hand soap it's kind of such an easy, like a simple and elegant solution to that problem. So at the same time, you're cleaning your hands, you're also kind of cleaning up the planet, because you're choosing to refill one bottle instead of throwing away plastic all the time. And it's such a simple and small change, but it really makes a big difference, especially if a lot of households were to adopt it. So our main advocacy is really, of course, like environmental, health related, and then also accessibility. So we never wanted our product to be, too expensive, because there's kind of a stigma that eco-friendly products, they're too expensive for me.
Yeah.
Right. But we kind of wanted to make it more accessible to people and show how you can really save by just buying. So I brought samples previously.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
So just buying these little sachets instead of buying plastic bottles all the time, and then just refilling like a really nice bottle forever. So yeah, I'm plugging it now.
I feel like I'm on Shark Tank.
Pitching to us, diba?
Yep.
I love that show talaga. It's massive
Same,
respect
I
for all
love
those
Shark
people who
Tank.
bring their businesses onto TV. Like, wow.
To add to what Ramon said, yeah, it's kind of cool like how businesses can start in a pandemic without, because for the start of Savon, we like in the very beginning, me and Danny, we actually never met Ian before starting.
Oh, and I never met Yumi as well.
Yeah. We know
Yeah,
that.
right.
Wow.
And so we met around like July of 2020 and launched in November. So that was like 4 months of just online communication, purely.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was really fun. Ian and I have been classmates since high school, so we really go way back. And I know Ian's like a really good businessman ever since, because when you're in high school, we were partners for this, or we were group mates for this small like business math project thing we had to do. And we chose to sell mogu mogu and then
Oh,
cupcakes. Yeah, it was so cute. So we were selling drinks and desserts. So we named our business DAD, or Dad, or drinks and desserts. And we earned like a lot, as in Ian was super hustle, as in he would bring like the coolers of mogu mogu to every single classroom in the high school, and we earned so much. And yeah, ever since then, like I knew that I always wanted to work with Ian on like a legit business. So as soon as Mike invited me to be part of Savon, Ian was the first person that I thought of. And his family also owns a really big natural soap manufacturing lab. So it's kind of the perfect connection for Savon.
Yeah, so Ian and Yumi were friends since high school, and Mike and I were friends since high school. And I never met Ian or Yumi, but I think right when we started off, we pretty much like hit it off like we were friends from before. So it wasn't really any adjustment, I would say. I think it just happened naturally.
I think that's the best kind of like, formation when you kind of have this harmonious connection with everyone, despite not having any physical like interaction with each other prior, right? Like people can really surprise you. You can have online friends that will feel like they've been your friends since way, way back. And what more but to become business partners that have like designated roles that each of you are so good at, right? So I guess just wanna ask like what a day in the life looks like for each of you, because you each have your own stuff that you do for this business while balancing, your other priorities. Because I mean, I know this is your business, but you have family pa and all of that. And what it was like to work through COVID and then kind of having to adjust every time there was either another surge or when things were becoming more lenient, you could kind of interact a little more in person and then back to square one again. Like how was all of that for you guys?
I think a day in the life, it's quite different now from how it used to be at the start. I think at the start, when we were still in the planning phase, it was a lot more hectic in a sense that, we had to source our bottles, we had to design our sachets. We had to make sure our powder was like good quality. So it was more of, the development phase. And at that point, I think day in the life was pretty hard because we were all like we had full time elsewhere. So none of us are really like 100% Savon. Like we all have our own things on the side. We have other jobs. So we would really have to dedicate the time to work on it, right? Which is quite difficult, especially because it was COVID. So everything's like much harder during COVID, right? But I think what really helped then was that when we were about to launch, which is around December of 2020, I think the lockdown was a bit more lenient. So we were
Yeah.
able to meet up in Mike's house like for the first time and really check out the products, do some testing. We even packed the sachets ourselves, like with the heat
Nice.
sealer and everything, putting the powder inside and sealing it. So I think that was like a really fun time, wherein we would do the physical labor. It was fun and not fun. It was a lot of hard work, but it was like getting to know Yumi, Ian, and Mike as well. So that was the first part of this whole business, and then now it's a bit different. I would say now it's a bit more management and administration work, just getting things to maintain the operations, to maintain sales, things like that. And that's when we all have like our specific niches now. So it's a bit more, I would say more professional, less startup, versus when we started off. But it's still fun. I would say just working with them, like getting to meet with them like once a week, twice a week. But yeah, the work life balance is it was a challenge and it still is, but you just deal with it. Make
Mhm.
time.
Well said.
Yeah, it was back then we were working from Mike's house. It was that stereotype of like the startup in the garage. Yeah. And you're like
Oh.
living out that life. It was so fun though. Like I feel like every startup has to go through that phase where you really feel like, you're doing the most basic groundwork. Like even if you're the founder, you envision yourself as like this CEO, this big leader of a company. Like you have to know how it feels to be packing your own boxes and stuff like that. And I think that experience really helped keep us grounded like until now. But
You still
yeah.
remember when I think, okay, so we stored our stuff in Mike's room where he is right now, like that's his background. Right when we entered Mike's room, the smell
The
was so
smell.
strong because we kept all our soap in his room and it was concentrated powder soap. So the fragrance, of course, is like times 10.
Yeah.
So
Oh
right when
man.
you enter, it's like a sharp
Smells
smell.
like a lush
Yeah,
park.
Yeah, it was like lush.
and imagine Mike had to sleep there like every night.
Oh man.
Yeah, like we worked like actually it was like every week, once in a while, we'd actually pack like a few hundreds or thousands of, well, right now, not anymore, but probably like 1,000 or even more boxes manually. So actually, the garage became somewhat like our working area as for the packing of the items. So my house became like a storage warehouse near for Savon in the very beginning. But right now, it took a while to like actually grow off that. But after a while, you have to find new systems and new processes and like how to improve your business and how to make it more efficient. So definitely, Danny said like the day to day before was so much different than it is now. Yeah. I'm glad that there are no soaps anymore.
In your
Like
room.
it's not, it doesn't smell like Lush anymore. Yeah. But it is a smell of like all our three scents, such as cucumber, verbena, and lavender. All that three combined in my room.
Oh
Smells
man.
nice. Pleasant naman.
But
But
now it's
nakakasawa.
Yeah,
third
all the
party.
time I can imagine. And like shit, my
Mhm.
room still smells like like
At least it
soap.
did smell good. At least it did smell good.
Yeah, at least.
Mhm.
No, but yeah, like upon hearing like how you guys sort of started, very humble beginnings, I know. I love the whole, doing it out of your garage, It's always like in movies, like all the startup businesses and all that go through that phase. So yeah, it's great how you guys, got together, Essentially two groups of friends meeting and then just forming a business, diba? Especially during a time where, it's hard to do anything, diba? To even be motivated to like get out of bed. But you guys, actually started a business, diba? And it had like a really good advocacy, diba? And, for sure a lot of people, you know, um, bought your products also, diba? And really appreciated all the thought and the process that came with, building your brand, diba? So yeah, good on you guys for, starting, diba? And you have so much respect for online businesses. And, I mean, it's it's the present, diba? I'm not gonna say it's the future, it's the present, diba? Kasi, everything's online now. We've had to adjust, diba? So even though the pandemic sort of died down, everything is still online. Diba? So yeah.
Yeah.
So I mentioned a bit nga na, ayun nga, since the pandemic's kind of like, alam mo na, died down a bit and all that. So may konting leeway na when it comes to operating your business. But, then again, you guys could probably still be operating the same way that you've always been, diba, from the beginning. Pero, like, what are your future plans, diba, regarding your business? It could be about how you go about operating it with less restrictions, or do you guys have any like products lined up in the future that you'll release? Those that you want to like share lang, of course. So yeah, any future plans with Savon? Dami ko sinabi. Whew.
That was a lot. That was, that was
Yeah.
quite a bit.
Future plans. That's a really I'd say it's a tough question to answer for us. And I think Danny and Mike know why. We can't go like super in depth into that.
No
But
problem.
I think just in general, like business and startups, the future is very uncertain. So something that you might have planned a month ago might be like different when you actually get there. And I think we're kind of facing a situation like that where we definitely had these plans laid out for us a few months ago, and now that we're like here, everything seems to be kind of different or going in a different direction. I think it's all part of running a business, and it's a lot of adaptation and stuff like that.
To change is really the key.
Yeah, definitely though. Something we want to see from Savon is we've been trying to get it into like hotels and stuff like that. I think we already made a sale.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, because
Really,
so
really
far
good
it's
idea.
I think it's really like, I mean, you see our bottle. A lot of people say like it's so bagay in a hotel, or so we've been trying to get it into that instead of just focusing like on B2C, that's business to consumer sales, because we really feel like, if you make these big sales to hotels, resorts and stuff like that, that's one way of making a large scale change. Because imagine how many plastic bottles would be eliminated from that particular hotel or resort.
Actually, shout out to Asia in Subic, the hotel. So they switched to Savon.
Wow, good for you guys.
So great.
So if ever you're in Subic, I think Asia is a good place to stay. Right, Mike?
Yeah, it's actually a really nice resort.
Yeah.
It's a really nice resort. People should visit it. People who are watching this podcast, you guys should visit the SIA.
In Subic.
In Subic, yes.
Take note. I think everyone's missing the beach right now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So you guys are kind of living what, children kind of think about when they're younger. They're like, oh, when I'm older, I want to be a businessman. And now it's crazy to think that people our age who aren't even technically like in the full adult level yet are already starting our own freaking businesses, and all of these things is blowing up. And I think that's also part of why we wanted to start doing this segment, because it's becoming the future of business, but at the same time, there's so many untapped like markets that kind of could use like the exposure, and us, when we see potential in people, we want to try and help them as much as possible. That's why we invite people like you guys onto our show. But being in the position that you guys are in now, where you're, like still in the adulting level, but you have your own business already. Do you have any advice for people who may be in similar situations as you, or even people who are like unsure if they should start their own business, because COVID time, regardless of whether or not it's lenient, it's pretty intimidating to start because there's so much risk involved, especially right now. But you guys have been through it and you guys are doing well. So do you have any advice to offer for either fellow businessmen or upcoming businessmen that may need help? Businessmen or women, don't cancel us.
I think like it's really easy to, I'd say, come up with an idea, and um everyone can really do it naman, like start a business. And it's also easy naman to have almost all departments covered, which are marketing, recording your finances, putting it up online, your sales, and all of that stuff. But I think um, the to be able to scale, you need to know, if you and completely legal, you need to know like the compliance reports that are required if you want to be um, a legal entity, diba? So, and being a legal entity comes with some advantages that you can't really have being like, just a normal startup without having like compliance to the government, diba? But yeah, that's why there's so many businesses that started up, because it really is relatively easy naman to start a business. But as you like have to deal with those, as you have to deal with the government, that's when it becomes kind of, it becomes tough. Submitting like if ever like the taxes really decrease your income, diba? So if I had like an advice for like people starting up, is like research on what you need to know for compliance, and government related duties right away, just so that it doesn't come off as a surprise when you actually have to face it,
That's
and
true.
start complying with like government and taxes and fees, etc. Yeah.
Very tactical, Mike.
Yeah, very technical, but I think that it's
Important.
important. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Because it's the things, those things naman, they don't really teach you in college. Like they'll
Mm-hmm.
really teach you like how to market, operations, diba? But when it comes with dealing with legal stuff, um they don't really give you a course on that. Yeah. You'll only really experience like how to register for a business once you actually have to do it already and be legal. So yeah, that's an advice I'd give.
Maybe I can add to Mike's. Mine's a little less tactical. I guess it's just what I've learned in the past 2 years just doing this, right? I think maybe two big ideas for me. Number one is leverage everything that you can today, because today it's so much easier to start a business than, let's say, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, when it
Yeah.
was, our parents, our lolas, everything was brick and mortar. You needed like loads of capital to start anything, right? But now you can start, a shop on Instagram, a shop on Shopify, Lazada, Shopee, and you can easily go regional, international with that. And a lot of people have, and a lot of people made it really well, made it to success with that. So I think that's something that's to our advantage today for sure. And leveraging that will be, I guess, key to success in today's, environment. And I think also what comes with that, part of that is also leveraging the resources to learn about how to do a business, right? So I think at the start, I personally didn't know how to do Facebook ads or whatever. That's not my field. I'm in consulting, right? Like I don't really know anything about that. So I literally watched like, let's say, 5 hours of YouTube videos just on Facebook advertising. What do you call it? Drop shipping, whatever, everything now. So I would create like playlists of those videos. I'd watch it, study it, apply it, step-by-step tutorials, things like that. And I think those super help at least get to a basic level of understanding. And then, of course, talk to my friends, whoever has the expertise in advertising, I talk to them, ask for advice. So really leverage like everything, all the tools that you have at your disposal, which is pretty much everything nowadays. Everything's online. You have friends as well who can help. So that's number one. And I think the second one is about drilling down on the people you're working with and the people who are helping you in the business. Because I think key also is the connections that you have and the connections that you build the network, right? So on the people side, it's not just about who you know, but it's also like how you can leverage them, right? So I think even just starting off with your partners, that's key. I think the advice that I was given before was if you want to start a business with someone, it's kind of like marrying them because of the amount of time that you're spending with them, the arguments that you'll go into, the agreements that you have to conclude, everything. It's really like a married couple's life, but on a professional level. So yeah, number one is like the people that you're working with in the business. Number two is also like the people that you consult, the mentors that you have, how you can make use of them to help build your business. So personally, I think we've had a lot of really good mentors for Savon. The parents of Ian, who's heavily in that the chemical business, who knows a lot about the industry. Even like Mike's mom, who would help us promote, of course, small Laude, super helped us with bringing our product out there. And everyone like Yumi's parents, I'm sure like they had so much good advice, and also my own personal advice from my parents. So it's like the mentors that you have that can help you take it to the next level because they've had so much experience from their years, right? So yeah, I think those two things for me would be the advice that I'd want to give. Just leveraging the people and the resources that you have to make it work.
Okay, I think my advice is going to be even less tactical than Danny. So I'm very idealistic. I think I specifically want to address people who have not come from a business background, because that's me. I'm literally a chem major. And a lot of people have been wondering like, oh, how did you end up having a startup? Like for me, I would say if you are from science or just anywhere except business, and you see that, startup culture is a thing now, you kind of want to participate, but you feel like you know nothing about business, like don't worry about that. I really like, this is my first time having a business, running a business. And I didn't like take any online courses beforehand. Like I didn't research on anything. I don't know if I should have, but I really didn't. I just said yes and I just took the leap. And business is very much something that you learn along the way. Like you can literally only learn it by doing. You could read how many books on it, you could watch how many videos, but the only time you truly learn is through experience. Like business is so special in that regard. And that's why it feels so new to me as somebody who's very academic, I guess, very science oriented, very used to like, in order to master this, you have to take notes, you have to study hard and, watch all these lectures. For business, it's so exciting because you actually get to do it and you get to see like the fruits of your labor. So really, if you come from a field outside of business and you want to try business, but you feel like you're not qualified enough, like please don't let that stop you. As in, if it's something that excites you, if you like the people who you're working with, just go for it. Like I'm serious. And also, there are going to be times, I guess, when it gets hard to stay motivated. During the Christmas seasons, those are when our sales like really peak. But after the Christmas like burr months, like sales really dip down. And if your only motivation is like the sales and the money you're making, it's gonna be really hard. You're gonna be like, why am I still running this?
Passion won't be there anymore.
Exactly. It's like, why would I still freaking update social media and all this stuff if we're not selling? I think those times you really have to go back to your vision. And that's why it's so important to have that whole mission vision step. I know that a lot of people, like business majors, I'm sure you go through classes where you learn that you have to make mission vision, core values, like, oh, just get this out of the way and then move on to the fun stuff. But no, it's really important to build that foundation, because when your sales are going wrong, when your plans are not turning out the way you expected, your vision and your mission is the only thing that's going to keep you going. And yeah, like right now I'm running SAVON social media. And so everything that you see posted recently, it's all just been me. And sometimes, it's not like every post I get gets like hundreds of likes and comments. Like there's
Yeah.
some that don't even get noticed. But what keeps me going is that I know I'm communicating a message that I believe in, like an advocacy I believe in. And so yeah, don't skip over the mission, vision, foundation building step. It's so, so important in a startup. Those are my two pieces of advice.
And I think the mission vision can't just be like a tagline that you make just to show it out there. Like it has to be something that really
It's
drives.
reflected.
Yeah, it has to be true. It has to be true to you for sure. Or else it won't, it's not serving its purpose.
That's so true. Yeah.
Man, that was grabe, like everything na, diba? Like all in one. Really appreciate the advices that you guys gave, diba? We have the technical advice, diba? And of course the what's the word? Well, for the lack of a better word, the less technical advice, but also very important advice, diba? I mean, yeah, it's always nice when we ask our businesses, the businesses that we get for the show, when they give their advice, because they all have their own unique, advice, that's either tailored to their business or also in their own beliefs as businessmen, businesswomen. Pero there's always yung core advice talaga that all business people give, business owners give, diba? It's that na never forget why you started, diba? Yung ano na, yung mission, vision, diba? It's not all about, the sales and all that. Kasi like those can like just disappear, for like a couple of months, diba? Like what Yumi mentioned, diba? There will be times where the business won't be doing as well as you wanted it to, diba? And there are times where, it's doing really well, diba? I think like from what I've gathered so far from all the recordings we've done, from all the episodes of this segment that we've done, um, starting a business nowadays in the pandemic, it's really like, taking a big leap talaga, and all of the highs are really high and all of the lows are really low because of the pandemic, because it's online, diba? So ayun, like really just kudos to you guys for, you know, sticking with it, diba? And you have a wonderful advocacy for your business also, diba? So yeah, good job, guys. I mean, we respect you guys.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thanks. You guys had like a lot of businesses na ba that came over. And what do they mean? Like I'm sure like highs meaning they're getting like a lot of sales, diba?
Mhm.
What would they usually mean by low? Is it like the opposite wherein they don't get sales? What do they usually say?
Not no, well, not just that. Like that's one of the lows, diba? I mean,
Yeah, I think more of the
obviously,
struggles na of
yeah, the
working in
struggles.
a business, number one, and working in a business through a pandemic, number two, and then
Mm.
having to balance out all the other stuff because we have some that say it's hard and some that say it's not. But then in the highest part, it doesn't only reflect in their like sales. It's more
Mm.
that they stuck to what they were intending when they started their business, which I think for everyone, I mean, yeah, money's good, of course, no
Mm.
shit, but like seeing that something that you love doing is being reflected in how you're doing it is the best kind of payoff that there is for a business because you
Fulfillment.
can see all the hard work and passion just go into something that you've done on your own. You can say that's yours, you did that. You can
Mm.
see all the love that's come into it, right, and it's put into it. So
I see.
good question, thanks for thanks for asking that. We've never had someone just turn it and be like, what
Yeah.
about you guys? Oh no.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
know. It's chill lang naman.
Yeah.
I think
Similar.
another
Like your
advice,
podcast.
yeah,
It is like a podcast, yeah.
Mm. Yeah,
like a
even like
really wise person once told me, like, life is all about problem solving. I've heard the quote name before, so I think you can apply that to business as well. Like, it's
For sure.
supposedly it should be always constantly problem solving for the business owners and its staff. And when you stop problem solving, that's when the business will stop growing.
Yeah, it will have reached its max
Yes.
potential already.
Yeah. You hit a plateau, definitely. But yeah, definitely problem solving every time. It's
Yeah.
constant problem solving. Yeah.
Yeah, it should always be, if you have the potential to find a way to make something easier for someone else, then that's where the key to your business is, right? Because you know exactly what you need to be doing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Actually, just a cuento there. I don't need, like, you don't have to add this, but I just want to make cuento. Like,
Fine.
on what you just said. So I took like this summer program abroad in Stanford, and it was a very entrepreneurial intensive class. And I
Mhm.
just remembered you because you said something that like triggered my memory. So it's about solving problems that you see like every day and unless you plateau. So one of the exercises they made us do was we were in a classroom, all of us, and they gave us 30 minutes to look for something in the classroom that we can fix. So whether it's, the aerodynamics of the chair,
Yeah.
whether it's, the whiteboard marker doesn't work well, like anything and everything, the light bulbs are too like bright, whatever. Like we had to find, I think, 50 things that we can fix in that classroom. And that was
50.
50 or more. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot. We had to do a lot. And that exercise was super eye-opening because I remember they said in starting your business or whatever startup that you have, half of the time you're just looking to solve a problem that most people have, right? That's half the battle. And once you have something that you can solve that works, that's you're halfway there. So I think, yeah, just in line with problem solving, I think that's something super interesting that I learned. Sorry, random.
No, that's
Mhm.
actually, that's very in line now with what literally what everyone just said.
Yeah.
Because that's true. It is what people aim to do when they start a business, but the key is finding more ways to have it improve. Because once you reach that point where you see that there's kind of nothing else to fix, then I mean, I'm not gonna say the business will die, but it has run its course in relevance to the person, right?
Yeah.
Damn, what a good, yeah,
Bam.
actually.
Like,
That makes a lot of that. What the hell? Yeah, it actually makes a lot of sense.
mm, yeah. All right. So like, I guess for a final question, I think this would be better like as the question before the advice one, pero it's okay. I mean, we could probably sort it out in the editing, pero we just wanted to ask them how you guys go about like collaborations. You did mention nga, di ba, you try getting Savon in like hotels, di ba? But like apart from that, there's also like, being that usually online businesses reach out to like influencers, diba, who are also on social media and all that. So like, have you guys ever actually like reached out to like any influencers? Like maybe how did you guys go about, like contacting them? Or maybe you can share like how they can like get in touch with you and all that. So ayun, like and just anything that you can share lang with that.
Yeah, no need to
Okay.
name drop. It's okay. That's
Yeah,
not that's not what's important. It's
it's
really
just like
just the
to help,
experience
you
behind
know,
it. Yeah.
yeah, to help the
Okay.
listeners who might want to work with you guys kind of know how to reach you. So yeah.
Okay, I can take this one. First of all, if you want to reach us, we would be so happy. You can, I know a lot of influencers are on Instagram. So if you just search at Savon CS or just Savon CS, you're gonna find us. If you're more of Facebook, we are Savon Cleaning Solutions on Facebook. And then email is savoncleaningsolutions@gmail.com. And I'm saying that because I would love it if influencers reached out to us because I went through this whole when we still had a social media manager. We went through this whole like long phase of like messaging so many influencers because we were having this campaign that it's called Make the Savant Switch. And we
Mhm.
had this like
Mhm.
list of influencers that we wanted to reach out to. And we went through every single one, checking, are their advocacies in line with ours? Are they mothers? Because that's kind of big for us. We feel like this is a very mommy kind of product. So we went through all of their feeds and we profiled all of them. We came up with this list. And then we had to message every single one of them, asking if they're interested, sending the details, and then sending them the kits. And oh my gosh, it was really fun, but it was so stressful. Like it's
Yeah, I
literally
can imagine.
so stressful. And like I would have these moments of crisis because a lot of it is copy pasting, right? As much as you
Yeah.
want to say it's personalized for influencer, it's like literally copy pasting and changing the name. Then
Mhm.
sometimes I'd like send it, but it had the wrong name. So I'd like unsend it before they see it and send it again. And so, okay, another piece of advice for like startup businesses, you're going to, when you have influencer campaigns, like that's the kind of thing you're gonna go through. It's like the end product is really great, as in a lot of people ended up storing it, posting it, and some influencers will be strict about their like, oh, we have to receive this payment if you want this many posts and stuff like that. But I feel like in general, if you really sell the advocacy and you sell the story and you pick the right people who would believe and would resonate with your story, then they'd be happy to do it for free. Like they would actually feel like doing it or taking initiative to do that, because it's in line with their advocacy. So when you're reaching out to influencers, yeah, just kind of background check and don't just pick them because they have a lot of followers, or don't just not pick them because they don't have a certain number of followers.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very true also.
That's
Very
great.
true.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean-
remember, yeah. Oh, sorry. Go
no,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, no, I was just gonna say, like, remember that influencers are not just like, it's easy to see them as just like people who generate engagement for you, or like things that generate engagement, but they're people also. So remember
They
to treat
are
them like
people.
people. Yeah,
Yes.
and make
Yeah.
sure that you build like relationships with them also.
Ayun, exactly. Yeah, right on. Ayun. So like we've had so many influencers in our show before, like in our podcast, and we've gotten from their side of things, how it is receiving, the messages and the products that they're gonna be endorsing, diba? So it's nice naman to know the other side, diba? Like the business naman, the ones who give out the products, send the messages and all that. So yeah, it's not easy, diba? I mean, like for us naman, si Tony does all the contacting, the messaging, diba? It really gets confusing, diba? If you you can lose track of all the people you try to
Yeah.
contact, diba? We have so many group chats on Messenger that
Yeah, we have
that are
maybe
like the
70
same.
plus for between
Yeah.
all
Oh
the
my
shows
God.
we've had with people. It's
Mhm.
too much.
Yeah, but that's really great advice nga for businesses also, diba? So yeah, I guess it did tie up pretty well with the advice question. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you guys want to plug your business or even your personal accounts, you guys want people to follow you guys, like now is the time to say it. No shame. Like every guest goes through this. Like no need to be shy about sharing your socials. Someone like this would be the platform for you guys to like, you know. So any socials you guys want to plug?
In Instagram, you can follow us at Savon CS, and in Facebook, just search Savon Cleaning Solutions, and you'll
So
find
Lazada
us
and
there.
Shopee.
Also,
Oh yeah.
Nice, you're on the Zada and Shopee.
then
Cool.
you can find us. Those are our socials, and our you can get some of our products in savoncs.com or in Shopee and Lazada. Just search Savon Cleaning Solutions as well, and it'll instantly pop up in the results. Savon Cleaning Solutions. There you guys.
All right. Noted. We will be putting all of those. Nice. We will be putting all of those in the description of this YouTube video so that everyone can check it out. Everyone listening, you guys should definitely check out their stuff. Like, soap is gonna be needed forever, forever. It's never gonna change. So, it's nice to see that there's innovation in that field. I never knew soap could get even fancier, but like having it in powdered form. It's crazy. The world is just evolving like crazy, and it's pretty cool to see that people our age are coming up with stuff like this. Like, so commendable talaga for you guys to be starting something like this. Like, hopefully, everyone who's watching this will be inspired na nga to start businesses of their own, even if it's not in the same field. Like, just to have that passion come to life, right? That's a pretty big achievement already, regardless of how much money they make or anything like that. But yeah, we just want to thank you guys again for being here with us. This was a super enlightening, like almost like a TED Talk slash Shark Tank pitch. Like I got vibes from all of those, and I love watching stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure everyone who's watching this too is gonna get the same feel. So thank you guys again for being here with us. It was super great hearing your story and super inspiring to look what you guys are doing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank
That was
you.
fun. Don't forget to send us your address. We'll send a bottle or
Yes.
Mhm. for sure.
But
yeah.
yeah, this is another down to business segment of the Screw Up Show. Thank you to everyone who's watching. We'll
Subscribe
see you
to their
guys on the
channel.
next. We will see you guys on the next segment. Thank you to everyone who's watching. See y'all.
Thank you.